Well, all right. We got something new, something different for you. Well, not really new, but new to us. We're coming at you with the tier list video. We got the F1 22, 2022 circuits of this year, and this is episode 21 of the Lockup Podcast. And we just kind of wanted to do this because we have hot topics all the time about tracks. They're great, they're doo-doo. Chris, I see, is already starting with some tracks moving around, but
Well, I'm just looking here because the Netherlands and Saudi Arabia have the same image, so a little funky, but
interesting.
we'll push on.
Didn't even catch that until just now.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah, we're back. We're doing a tier list. This should be a great episode, honestly. This is where we're gonna piss off probably half the people that
Probably.
are listening, and the other half is gonna enjoy. But we'll see.
Yeah, no, probably. I mean, I've actually been wanting to do this for a while. We saw it done on Twitter, and we just kind of looked at it and we're like, man, it's such a good idea not to do it. So this is like our first little content piece outside of a podcast. We're gonna give you, our Silverstone predictions for sure. But I mean, this is gonna be really fun to rank all the tracks because I got some spicy takes for some of these things, bro. Some of these are god awful.
I already have a really great take. I'm trying to figure out what do we kick off with? Do we just go in order, or?
I mean, we could go in order. It's up to
let's
you.
Let's just start it off with this.
Yeah, I think I can go ahead and 100% agree with you on that one. I think that's
no
universal.
Debate. Spa is the best track in the whole, I guess, history, honestly. Like, is there like an S plus tier? Can I move it up?
I mean, I wish I can move it up, and it's crazy that we're saying let's move it up above S tier because they are stalling on their new contract. They have yet to sign a new contract for that track yet.
Yeah, yeah, it's kind of goofy, but I think let's make a rule here that we have the tiers, and wherever they sit in the tier is their rank. So the closer, like right now we have Spa S. It's the first one in there. That's the S1. So whatever goes next.
Yeah. The further down the line is what falls in line for
lesser,
the rankings.
Yeah.
100%.
I like that. Okay. So yeah, we got an easy one out of the way.
We can just start with that. We can go ahead and start with an easy one as well, and I'm gonna get you to move that there Miami to D tier.
Miami to D tier. Oh,
I'm just gonna go ahead and say it, man. Like, listen.
Wait, question.
Go for it.
D tier is the worst category. Is first in the D tier mean the worst track, or would it be the last in the D tier would be the worst track?
Let's let it sit for right now. Yeah, it's okay. Last in the D tier, but let's let it sit there for right now.
Yeah. Go on. You were saying something.
Nah, man, it's just like with these, we're just gonna keep it short and sweet with these because like a Spa needs no introduction. I don't even think I need to argue why that needs to be in the S tier. In Miami, man, I mean, come on, like, do we really need it? There's freaking goofy ass chicanes under the freeways, and you had a tight chicane going into the pit lane. It made no sense. That track made no sense.
Yeah, we had weird pit lane chicane. That tight chicane under the freeway. One, it's under a freeway in a parking lot. We had the fake water. We had
the fake freaking marina.
Leclerc didn't win, so obviously that track sucks. I don't know.
Leclerc elitist over here.
Like, you're in Miami, you're not even on the beach, dude. You made a fake marina. It's the wannabe Monaco, and
it is the wannabe Monaco. It's 100% the wannabe Monaco.
I will say it was the first year they ran it, so option that it could move up to maybe C tier next year. Who knows? We'll see.
That's fair.
And I feel like piggyback off that, we could just we can go and give Saudi, and we can say they're C tier. They improved.
Yeah, they improved. They improved a little bit. I want to make sure. I actually think that one might be.
All right, let's debate this
Netherlands
one a little bit.
Track.
Yeah, I mean, it says Saudi Arabia, though.
What do you want to debate?
I mean, do you agree with C tier, or do you?
No, I 100% agree with C tier. It's not the greatest track on earth, which lands it in C tier, but it's really not the worst. Like,
it's dangerous.
You're probably going to be surprised.
Reason.
Yeah, it really is. It's literally they added the new curbs. They they put some walls a little bit closer to the track, and it's like they almost unnecessarily made it a little bit more dangerous for just no reason at all. And I was like, well, okay, I guess if you're just wanting to add the adrenaline and danger to it, cool. But it only brings it up to C, really.
Yeah, and we say that as we have Spa as our number one S1. That's a pretty dangerous track. But
Yeah,
they've done safety features, but at least the danger is like,
it's
I don't
kind of part
know.
of it.
There's something about it that just hits different than Saudi Arabia. We had, honestly, Saudi might even go down to D tier because we had freaking terrorist attacks this year. We had Mick Schumacher crash. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, it's you know what? It might be first in D tier. I haven't
Well,
argued. It might be first
let's.
in D tier.
I say, okay, yeah. I don't really like the track that much, honestly. Uh, but yeah, I think we got a couple easy ones out the way. Let's see what else. What
Yeah,
another? Should we just
I think
let's
we
start
should
with that.
just
Let's
go
go to
down the
Abu
line. Yeah,
Dhabi.
let's just go down the
Let's go
line.
to Abu Dhabi. Thoughts on this one? I know this is going to be a controversial track because after last year, I know half the fan base loves it, half hates it.
Yeah, I was about to say they got some PTSD with that track now. It's like I don't know where to label it. Now, I'm not gonna lie. I want to say like end of A tier, top of B tier for me. It's a very nice track. It is. It symbolizes the end of the season. It's been the end of the season for a while. You know, it's got everything. It's got chicanes. It's got fast straights. It's got multiple fast straights. It's got long curves you could take flat out. I
And
like
the
it.
new layout. The new
That's true.
layout's really
That's true.
nice.
The new layout does look really nice. I think it's a strong B, can get up there to an A tier track. That's just my opinion. I think it's like that.
Mm, I
What do you
see
got
it.
to say about it?
I think let's let it rest in B for now. We might have to reassess this one later because it's like so far we've already figured out we have Miami as our worst track. I don't
Yeah,
know what's gonna beat Miami. Spa is our best track, but it's kind of hard for me to fill in what the A and C tier is yet until we got to go through a couple more. But I like Abu Dhabi, and it's got the cool factor too because they have actual marina, you know.
yeah, and it's a night race, and it's like,
Oh, night race, yeah, yeah.
yeah, no,
And Latifi crash guaranteed
Latifi
almost.
crash, of course. Yeah, I mean, it is guaranteed. I wouldn't even say almost at this point. A Latifi crash is guaranteed during the last race of the
Hey,
season.
he's been pretty consistent. All right, P16.
Consistently bad. No, I'm just kidding.
I mean, yeah, but we can say the Williams drivers last year, if they learned one thing, it's they know where they are on the grid.
That's all reliable right there.
That's so reliable right there. So yeah, I think I want to say maybe A tier for
I could.
Abu
I
Dhabi.
mean, I could agree with you with A tier. You can scoot it on up.
All
I
right,
could
we'll
agree
give it a
with
little
that.
bump. We'll give it a little bump. Sorry, Lose fans.
Sorry,
Uh,
Lewis fans. Sorry.
dude, Australia. Australia is definitely an A
I
tier.
actually that might be the strongest A tier track for me. Now,
Uh,
I
now that I've
do.
done that, I think Abu Dhabi should maybe be a B. I don't know. I don't
Okay.
know.
That's fair. No, that's fair. That's fair. I like it.
Let's sit it behind Australian A for a little bit.
That's fine. I do want to comment on something last year. They had a couple of little track edits this year, and I was pleased with them. It is a little bit more dangerous, but it provides for closer racing. So I liked it. I liked it. I didn't mind it at all. I liked
Now I
Australia this
think
year.
if we had Australia for DRS zones, that might have been an S tier competitor right there.
It might have been an S tier, but for whatever reason, I guess it literally just got too fast. I guess they just had to shut down one of the DRS zones, really.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense.
No, it's a
Um,
solid track.
yeah, solid track. I think it's definitely that's probably the definition of A tier, like you said. I think that makes sense.
No, 100%. I
Austria. Wait, what were we
Austria,
saying?
bro. Austria is the Red Bull Ring, and I think that's an A tier track. I don't care. It's small. It's quick. It's an A tier track, and
But does it
I would put
in
it in
front?
between. I would put it in between.
Okay, okay.
That I think that is an A tier track. Australia is nice because it's just got a little bit more to it, so that's why it edges out Austria. But Austria, I mean, look at it, bro. What you see is what you get. Like
What you see
there's a
is what you
lot
get.
of passing on that track.
Yeah, that's and that makes for exciting racing, and Red Bull, the home race for them. Yeah, that's pretty fun.
Yeah, no, that's I it's a very I think it might be in my top five. I actually think it might be in my top five. It's such a cool track.
So I will say on this, like in our tiering, obviously like history is going to play into it a little bit, but also like the cool factor. So I don't know, Austria has the cool factor.
Austria definitely has the cool factor. I 100% agree.
Yeah, Bahrain, I think it's
Dude,
either a C or a B for me.
I my mind is telling me C for my boy Romain Grosjean. I like it almost took his life, but my heart is telling me B because I actually don't mind Bahrain. I like the track.
Yeah, I can
But
be swayed to B because it's like it's not terrible, but it's like I mean, it just is what it is. It's kind of like yeah, B tier right in the middle. Like I don't feel any type of way about it.
yeah, it's literally it's. I don't want to, for the sake of the tier list, I don't want to say it's a mid track, but I mean, hey, B tier is about as mid as definition as you can get.
It's a mid
So
track.
it's a mid track, not good, not bad, but I mean, hey, it's definitely raceable. You have some exciting times. I just I wanted to throw a slide out there for my boy Roman. The dude's alive right now.
Yeah, yeah, which is good, very good. But yeah, Bahrain B tier, mid. I don't know if there's really debate to be had
Okay,
there.
I have a hot take, Chris.
Okay,
I really like Baku, and I really like that track. It's an S tier track for me.
it's an S tier for you.
I know you feel different.
I don't know, man. I think okay, the castle sector itself is S tier sector,
Yeah,
but I don't know. I feel like it's kind of a snooze fest for the most part.
dang. I mean, yeah, I could see. So I guess city tracks are really hit and miss, huh? They're either like the best track you've ever seen or the best race you've ever seen, or kind of just you watch the first 10 laps, you hit a little power nap, and you wake up for the last 10 laps.
So you're telling me you like Baku better than Austria?
Put it in A. You can go ahead and put it in A.
Okay.
Yeah, you can.
Brazil, S tier.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. I will agree there. That's unanimously an S tier track. Max Verstappen is a masterclass on that Brazil track.
Dude, and oh man, oh, we're talking about Max. I mean, look about Lewis, dude, last year.
No, you're totally right. Lewis last year with that Brazil track, he kind of tore it up completely.
Dude, he destroyed like he made that's his track.
I
That's
mean, that
Lewis's
is
track.
that is Big Daddy Lewis's track, eh?
Yeah. Like you say Silverstone's his home? I don't know, man. I think the Brazil, that's his home GP.
I mean, he isn't he. Wait, didn't he just this year become an honorary Brazilian citizen?
Yes, sir. I believe he did.
Hey, let's go. Yeah, stick that thing in S tier.
Yeah,
Let's
that's an S
go.
tier track.
That's
That's a
an S
great
tier
track.
track for sure, and I
That's
think it is behind. I think it is behind Spa. Like I'm gonna go ahead and say it. I think Spa might take the cake for just the first overall S tier
oh,
track on this list.
that's our Jonathan Taylor pick. That's our number one overall.
Shout out all the fantasy football players.
Yeah. For those of you who don't know, Jonathan Taylor is the man in fantasy football.
Yeah, he led me to a championship last year, but uh,
Yeah.
enough of that.
Yeah.
No, that Brazil track definitely belongs in S tier, 100%. And with Lewis Hamilton now being a Brazilian citizen, honorary Brazilian citizen, he yeah, 100%. Yeah, that track belongs in S tier. But
S tier.
Canada track, I mean, we saw it in action, and I'm gonna keep it real. It's exciting. It's
It was
just you know, it's I want to say it's mid, but it is exciting depending on the situations. It's not the track's fault sometimes.
I gotta say about that is if Canada goes to B tier, Baku's definitely going down to B tier with it.
You know what? I think I can see your point right there. I think I can
Because
see your point.
I liked the I think the Canadian GP was really exciting. It was a good track. There was a
You
lot of
know what? You're
overtaking.
right. You're right. You're right. Look, go ahead and put Canada in the A tier, and you can move Baku to the B. That's
Okay,
okay with me. That's okay with me.
okay. I think that's filling out pretty nicely here. But okay, so now in A tier, Canada, where are we ranking this bad boy?
Oh, it's got to be closer to the front, doesn't it? I
I
actually
think
think.
so. I
Dude,
might have to put it at the top of the A tier.
yeah, actually, I actually agree with that. I
Yeah,
actually agree with that. Canada was actually pretty exciting. You're right because with these
Canada
new with
was.
these new cars, it was just great.
Yeah, it was definitely more exciting than Australia even.
I mean, Stroll disappointed a little bit. Latifi disappointed, all reliable. But I
Yeah,
mean, it would have been cool to see the two homegrown heroes do well at their track. But I will say it definitely was an exciting race, 100%. I mean, we almost saw a Carlos Sainz victory. He was so close, but just that's about it.
I
But
think I think I'm gonna say something for this next track that is definitely gonna be controversial, but I think it might age like fine wine. I think Circuit of the Americas is gonna become a S tier track this year.
holy hell, he said it. That's my motherland, Austin, Texas. But I'm from Houston, and Chris is from Houston. But
Yeah.
that Austin is like 2.5 hours outside of Houston, and man, that track. I don't care what anybody says, Chris. I'm totally backing you. That track is freaking kick ass.
Dude,
I
I
don't
mean,
care.
look at okay, we have the start, it goes directly uphill into like a super sharp left hand. And since it's going uphill, it gives your car even more downforce where you can brake even later into the first turn. Like there's so many cool things about that. And then you
No,
get
it's
like
insane.
some crazy twisty sections, big Texas long straights,
Bro,
like
you literally go it with COTA. Like, look. You see it at the bottom left. You go to the straight. You go immediately uphill. You hit that left-hand hairpin, and then you
yep.
immediately go into that fast, like G-force freaking like. It's like a double chicane, but you're almost taking it flat out the whole time.
Yeah.
That part is so sick to see.
Yeah, and I mean, even if you play like the F1 games and stuff, like, dude, that's like trying to nail that section is fun. Like,
When you
definitely
when you
challenging,
nail it,
awesome.
bro, you feel like a freaking like a menace to society because you're going so fast and you're in the video game and you're just like, yeah, I nailed that and I could probably do this in real life. And then, you just can't.
Yeah, I think now that the cars can follow closer, I think it's gonna make it a lot more
That
exciting. I
section's
think
going to be ridiculous.
with the caveat that I'm sure the front runners are gonna pull away and yada yada, whatever. But I still think it's gonna become a. I think it's gonna be a S tier track this year.
No,
I
I
think it.
agree, and I actually agree with with the third place of it too. It sits perfectly right there.
Yeah, I mean it's not going like we said, we have the history like obviously like these other two tracks ahead of it have more like pedigree and whatnot and like outside of this current era they're always S tier tracks. I think uh this year is what's given it the bump. Otherwise I would have to put it A tier, but I
No,
I mean
you're right.
yeah,
You're literally right because it is since the cars are built for more racing. There's more downforce on these cars, which makes that first turn and long straight even more fun to watch. So yeah, no, I think you're right. On any other season, any other era, it's definitely I think I would even say low A, maybe high B tier track. But with this
yeah.
era, with the bump and with these new cars. I could definitely see COTA in the A tier or in the S tier, lower S tier, super high A tier, but it belongs right there for sure.
And I definitely will say caveat, we're obviously biased in this call, but
Oh, 100%. I'll let it show. 100, bro. Like, come on, Circuit of the Americas, and it's 2 hours away from me in my home state. Yeah, I'm biased. I'll say it right
and
now.
let's be honest, out of all the American tracks, like we'll talk about Vegas also, like Circuit of the Americas is the best track.
I agree. Like Miami had a good thing going. It's just the execution of it was so poor that it's just they're I don't think they're going backwards. And now since they executed it so poorly the first time, hopefully they can make changes next year. But I haven't heard anything on making changes to that track. So I mean, we could be in for the same exact track next year. But like you said, we have Vegas next year too. We can speculate and give a prediction on it right now. I think it I think it'll be exciting because it's going to be a night race in Vegas and there's going to be long straights for overtaking. But I think because of the long straights and because of kind of the track layout, how it is, it may have the potential to be boring, but I'm optimistic about it. I'm definitely going in glass half full on it.
Yeah, we'll see. I could prediction. I think Vegas will end up being a B tier when we do this next year, maybe even a C tier. But
Yeah, I mean, hey, Miami put the freaking bar on the floor for expectations, so you ain't got to try super hard to beat it.
I'm a realist. Okay, it's probably going to be B or C. But that being said, I'm definitely going to go next year to Miami. Or I mean, not Miami, to Vegas.
Yeah, Mister already booked my freaking rooms and shit.
Yeah.
What an animal.
so so next up we got Imola.
Imola, Emalia, Uramanga.
This is one of the tracks where I don't know. I don't know. This is where weather really played a good part and made it
I'm gonna
exciting,
say it.
honestly.
I'm a Lando Norris stan. It's an A tier track. He comes nothing but P3 in that track. Don't care. Saying it. It's an A tier.
Okay, I'll let you kind of pick where's it sit in A tier?
It's last in A tier. It's a strong B. It's a strong
Okay,
B. But you're right. It is one of those tracks where like weather plays into it a lot because I think all these tracks very obviously all these tracks are different in the dry and then in the wet. But I think Imola, just for its speed, it'd be like it's to me it's kind of like racing at Monza when it's soaking wet. I like
yeah.
that track a lot. It adds such a good storyline when it's a wet race.
So this next one, the French GP. This is one I don't really
Paul
know
Ricard.
know where to rank it. Honestly, like I I'm gonna have to let you just make the call on this one
I
and tell
don't
me
want to
why.
overload the A tier because I really don't mind this track, although it's just kind of I feel like it's a long track. Like look at it. It's just a
Yeah,
long, skinny, straight track. Like
if we had
the turns they do have are just all hairpins.
if we had the real Saudi track, that would be a super long, skinny one. Also, I
Yeah,
mean, that being
I'm
said,
not sure
though,
what
like,
happened with that graphic image. I didn't even notice that, but you noticed it
yeah,
right off rip. That's crazy.
I don't. So I'll be honest with the French race. I don't think I watched it last year, and I definitely didn't see it before then. So like, I don't really have like I don't know the history of the racing on this track to say one way or another.
It's very good. Last year's race on it, of course, it was just Lewis. It was Lewis and Max fighting at the front, and they quickly pulled away. But I
Yeah,
mean, you really see the top speed of the cars. There's two straights that lead into each other, so that's kind of
yeah,
cool.
boom, boom.
Um, I mean it is a little it's a trippy track to watch because it's that track with all the blue and
Is
white
it the one with
lines.
the banked corner? Like,
No, that's the Netherlands. That's the Xander
okay,
I
yeah, yeah,
forgot
yeah.
what it's called. Yeah. But it's that's the banked corner where it literally looks like an IndyCar corner or a NASCAR corner coming out for the
Yeah.
main straight. That is a sick track though.
Oh, okay. I think I did see the French Grand Prix last year.
Yeah,
I
it's the
gotta
ones with
say,
all the blue and black lines all over it. It's trippy to
I will
look at.
say high B, low A.
You know what? I would put it very first in B tier.
Yeah, yeah,
I would put very first in B tier because I don't want to oversaturate the A column because those are really good tracks. Paul Ricard could be there. It's just it maybe this year could be better, but last year, if I'm just judging off of the race we saw last year, it's definitely a strong B. But with these new cars, I could see it going to A. I could definitely see it going to A.
Paul Ricard also gets the cool factor of being like the French Grand Prix and having like a couple French drivers, So
Yeah, shout out Ocon, shout out Gasly. I believe
yeah,
that covers the French drivers.
yeah, just
Ocon's
the two of
mid,
them.
Gasly's a little bit
Mid.
higher than mid. Hell
All right, we'll put it in B just like the French drivers. No, I'm just kidding.
yeah.
I think
Let's go.
Pierre could do good on.
I
Pierre could
didn't
do
even
good.
catch that. So
Pierre could do good on the right team, but I don't know. He's been in a slump this year. But I think, you know, I think that might have to do with the fact that he has nowhere else to go, so he doesn't really have anything to strive for, you know?
yeah, it's a weird spot in his career right now, man. It's kind of like
Sucks. Honestly, it
It's
kind of
kind of
sucks
like
for
how
him.
Sainz was when he was at Renault first,
Yeah,
and then he moved to McLaren and felt really good about it. But then an opportunity opened at Ferrari, and of course he's gonna take. I mean, dude, he looks like he was meant to wear that freaking Ferrari jumpsuit. Like I of course everyone's gonna take a Ferrari seat, so I totally get that. But it's a weird spot in Pierre's career, and like I know there wasn't this huge big press outing saying he was re-signing to AlphaTauri for another year, so it's like I know he's pumped to stay in F1, obviously, because there's only 20 seats, but it's like I feel like he reached his ceiling at AlphaTauri, but this year is telling me different. He needs to get out of his little slump he's in.
I mean, yeah, you could say that. I just think that his slump is induced by like
Ah,
they Checo's having great success, and Pierre was good at the start of the season, and then the car had difficulties,
shout
and
out Red
then
Bull.
yeah, Checo's just kind of shut the door on him taking his seat at Red
Yeah.
Bull, and yeah, it's not like Lewis is retiring this year, and like so there's not really anywhere for him to go.
And honestly, to see Pierre Gasly in a car next to George Russell in a Mercedes after Lewis Hamilton is just, it sounds far fetched to me right now, at least. But I mean, yeah, it's just a weird spot for him, man.
Yeah,
It's very literally just a weird spot. There's not a lot of places to go.
alrighty. Hungary.
Honestly, this might be my first C tier one, man.
C's here. I'm not gonna argue with you on that one.
It's got it's a cool track. It's got that little like we're looking at it right now. It's got that little horseshoe. I picked a bad spot to cut that word off, but I mean, it's got that little horseshoe straight, and it goes into a couple hairpins, some chicanes, and it's cool. It's just like I almost love hate the little horseshoe straight right there because you come out of a hairpin, you go into a nice straight just to go right into another hairpin, and the track almost mirrors itself.
It does, yeah, that is true.
So it's like it's definitely but I think that's my first C tier one.
Yeah, well, we need one in there, so there it goes. I think for Japan, I think we can safely say it's a S tier track.
Yeah, I think I'm with you on that one. I think that track kicks major ass. But this is where we differ. Do you put it right there?
Mm. Well, I definitely I put it there for now because it definitely goes ahead of Circuit of the Americas. But
All right,
now
fair.
the real question is, does it go ahead of Brazil or not?
Actually, you know what? Now that I'm looking at it, I think that's right. Brazil just has that because Brazil's great in the wet and dry. Uh, Japan can be a little bit annoying in the wet. Dry as a dry track, it's excellent. It's 100% excellent. A little bit annoying in the wet, but I think it's fine. Yeah, I think it's fine because it's not beating Spa. It's not beating Brazil like indefinitely. I can't think of anything more than what Brazil could do or what Brazil could not do for Japan to be better than it. And I think it has the edge over COTA. I That's fine. That's fine with
Yeah,
me.
yeah, yeah, I think it's a good spot for it. Fits in there. Suzuka, what can you say? Uh,
Mexico.
Mexico, I like this track.
I like it too.
I
I mean,
honestly think that I would actually really like to go see the Mexican Grand Prix like live.
oh no, that has to be one of the. It's super late in the calendar too. That has to be one of the littest tracks that you could
The
go
most
to.
bumpin' track
Oh, a
for
hundred
sure.
percent. It was like it's probably almost the equivalent. Like, bro, I think it was like 2017 in Houston at NRG. They had one of the Champions League's Cups games, and it was Man City versus Man United. And me and my brother went, and just seeing all the like I've never seen more British
The
people
British
in
are coming.
Houston,
The British are coming.
bro. Like living that would be sick. Now imagine a Mexican event in Mexico. That has to be so lit.
Yeah, and especially with Checo doing so good.
With
Oh man,
With
last
Checo
year
being a firm second place,
I was praying that he would win that race. I was like, please let it happen.
bro, we got to see it this year. We
I
have
think
to see it this year.
I think I have to say it's an A tier track, and I'm throwing it in the middle of the A tier.
Yeah, I like it behind Australia. I almost think Australia and Mexico might be like hand in hand, could go blow for blow for like that second place. But I like that where it is right now.
And I think also like Mexico has that cool factor, so it's got to be higher up in the A tier. Like I'm thinking like, obviously like if you look at Spa has like one of the best places for like fans to go cheaply to the race, and like it's
Yeah,
always a good environment.
dude, you
Circuit of the
snag that grass
Americas,
hill. Yeah,
Circuit of the Americas has that too though also. So that's like another, it's like a really good fan friendly track. Like if you're an American fan and you want to go to a race, this is probably the most affordable one to go to.
most affordable and most viewable. They have a lot of sections where you could actually see the race instead of just hang out.
Yeah. And then look at, I mean, Miami was just like rich people circle
I
jerk.
mean,
So
yeah, dude. It was literally who can spend the most money to get the closest to the track and see it, and like, yeah, no, bro, just that's why it sucks, dog. They put so much like just BS into that track, and I hate it.
okay, Monaco, B or C, where are we putting it?
B or C, B or C. I'm
I
thinking
mean,
C. No,
let's
I
be
know
realistic.
I know it's
It de-
F1's
it
crown jewel.
it's definitely ahead of Hungary. I mean, the racing on it is just boring.
It's just,
Period.
bro, if you asked me Monaco like maybe in the early 2000s and 90s, yeah, I'll put it like B tier or A tier, or no, I'll put it A tier or S tier. I'll 100% agree with you on that. But now, dog, with these cars, how massive they are, hell nah. Monaco is a freaking snooze fest. You beat people on pitch strategy, and that is it.
And
That is
Leclerc hasn't won it either, so
yeah, I bet that automatically puts it in C tier for it'll be first in C. I'll give it first in C. But it's
yeah. I
like,
mean, but this being said, like if it wasn't Monaco and didn't have the history, I would even probably put it in D tier.
dude, like right and you know
The
what?
qualifying is exciting though. The qualifying could be higher up.
Qualifying is sick. Qualifying is sick. But you know what, Chris? This isn't a qualifying tier list, dog.
Yeah,
It
it's
is a
not. Yeah.
racing tier list and Monaco pisses me off.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, we had the king troll himself, Fernando Alonso, hold up like majority of the grid except for like seven
Bro, there was
drivers.
two separate races going on. Like it was ridiculous.
Yeah, that was ridiculous.
But yeah, I ain't got anything to say about Monaco. That's my spicy take. We'll argue on Twitter. Bring them hands. Like I don't even care. Monaco
Bring
is
them Twitter
just
fingers.
it's just
C tier.
it's bleh to me. That's it. It's bleh.
All right, Monza, Monza, Monza.
Oh shit. Let me hear your opinion. Then I'm gonna give you mine.
I like the track. We like the track.
We like
It
it a
has
track.
it has the history. It has the cool factor. Like Ferrari home race, super fast track. Like they're not trying to play. Like they're just trying to see these cars go as fast as they can. Honestly, I might respect it more if they got rid of like any of the like chicanes and just made it a giant like shoe.
Yeah, just a giant boot of a shoe, and just got rid of the chicanes and just said, "Hey guys, go as fast as possible all the time for 50 laps, and we'll see who wins."
And I will say, like honestly, people were like, "Oh, Vegas Grand Prix, it's gonna be lame." Like honestly, I wish they made it more
I wish
like
it made
basically just
yeah
a
more
drag
like
strip.
Monza. Yeah, no,
Like
I agree.
it just, I mean, we're in like you're in Vegas, like we gotta do the American style. We gotta show them about that. Just make it all left hand
Just
turns and make it
raw
straights.
speed, leave
Yeah.
McLaren in the dust because
Hey, maybe next year. So yeah, I like Monza. I want to
I'm eager.
say
I'm
it's an
eager to.
A tier,
Oh, see, I want to put it second in S tier.
second in S tier. Okay.
It's a lot. It's a lot. But no, no, no. Put it where I actually. Okay, you hear my opinion. You said yours. I want to see where you put it based on just everything. You don't have to listen to
I
me.
was gonna put it at the front of the A tier.
You know what? That's fine. I can agree with that. I like it a lot, but that's just my biased opinion. But I could say Monza definitely holds a low S first in A tier.
Yeah, I mean, I gotta say, like, I want to keep the S tier fairly exclusive. I know, like, people might say I'm an idiot for doing that after I put COTA in there, but like, it's got to be like pretty tough crowd to be with up there, you know?
No, it is. S tier's like that for a reason, and you're right. It should be kept pretty exclusive because it's like, we have what, 7 tracks in A tier, 3 in B, 2 in C, two in D, and then only 4 in S, which those 4 are very, like you said, they have everything. They have the historical aspect, they have the danger aspect, they have the
Outside
exciting
of
racing
COTA.
aspect. Aside of Coda, it's now
COTA's a spicy take.
the only history I think Coda has is it being like the only United States track for a little bit, just for a little bit. But
Yeah,
that's really about it. That's the only history it has.
yeah. I mean, I like it, so it's S tier to me.
No,
It's our
absolutely.
tier list, so yeah.
It's our
I
tier
mean,
list, so suck it. No, I'm
yeah. I mean,
just
I
kidding.
could, I could, honestly, I could be swayed to put Monza in S tier.
You just stick it at the end there.
Okay.
the
Netherlands, the Netherlands,
the Netherlands, the land of the Dutch.
the land of our boy Max Verstappen.
I can put it. I'll put it in front of Baku and B tier. Honestly,
Okay,
I like it. I like that. I
B
like that
tier.
bank turn. I like that super
Baku.
sharp hairpin that also has a bank turn. I love that long
Now,
straight into the NASCAR straight.
question: Netherlands ahead of France or no?
Nah, I like France. I
Okay.
like Paul Ricard. I love that track. It's trippy to look at. There's long straights. It's good. Since I haven't seen it with these cars yet, that's why I'm on the fence and kind of like iffy on it. But I do like that track.
Okay, I feel you there. Silverstone. This is gonna be a hot one.
That's a hot one because we got that race this week, brother.
Yeah, yeah. Well, let's save Silverstone for last. How about
Yeah,
that?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Let's
yeah. We'll
let's
talk.
agree to that.
We'll talk right into it.
All right. Singapore then. What are you thinking? I'm not too
Singapore.
hot on
Me neither, man. I'm actually okay with that being in the C tier.
C tier. I was gonna. We'll put it behind Monaco. And again, Monaco only gets the C tier number one because of clout. C
Yeah,
for
no,
clout.
100%.
Clout tier. I don't know. Singapore. I was gonna even maybe throw it in the B tier, but hmm.
Nah, the B tier's fine too. B tier's totally fine.
We'll stick it in C just because feels right. Feels feels okay.
Nah, yeah, that
I
that
I
feels
don't
good
have
to me.
enough to argue it up to B tier or argue it down. So just whatever. Whatever.
No,
Spain.
absolutely.
I
Spain's
like it.
got to be up there. Spain's
I
got to
like
be
the
up there.
track. Um, Spain, Spain, Spain. I don't want to say S tier. Something in me is saying no to S tier for Spain.
Why is something in you saying no to S tier? No, I'm just kidding. It's not an S tier track. It's definitely up there. It's 100% definitely up there, but it's not an S tier track. You're right.
It's definitely bet. I think Spain may be the second best in A tier.
I can totally agree with that statement.
It could be the first. It could be, but I thought Canada was better this year. The race, that is, the racing was
No, the race in Canada was really good this year. I
like
mean,
the race in Canada is like so compelling that it's number one A tier. I don't think actually I could see one track beating it, and we'll talk about that. But I could also I don't know. Anyways, Spain second A tier.
yeah,
What do you think? What's your opinion?
yeah, it can go. It can go in front of Australia. I'm actually okay with that.
Did you
Australia,
want to put
yeah,
it?
no, it's no that
Did
that's fine. No, I like it. I like it. I like it. Second and A tier, that's perfect.
okay? I was gonna say, did you want to put it in S tier? Because I feel like you
No,
did.
I think, dude, I know we have Silverstone last, but I think S tier might be wrapped up.
Yeah. So no Silverstone S tier.
No, not for me. I don't think Silverstone's gonna be an S tier.
I wanted to. I don't know. It was to me. It was like in debate to maybe be S tier, but I think I could say it might be the best of the A tier. It could be number one A tier.
It could, in fact, very well be number one in A tier.
Yeah. What are your thoughts? What are your like
I mean, my
uh
exact opinion, like with let's see, we're talking about like, mm, I don't know though, because Spain, it's such a good track because it has a history. It's a Spanish GP. It'd be
wait,
awesome
wait,
if
wait,
freak.
wait.
What?
Silverstone, you mean?
Oh, we're still talking about. I thought we were just wondering where Spain was gonna go still.
I don't know. Maybe I messed up. I thought we were cool with Spain going where it is. I was thinking
No,
Silverstone
no, no.
now.
You're okay then. You're absolutely right. Well, for Silverstone, which is obviously the track we're racing at this week, and there's a bunch of stuff that's going to unfold with that, especially with the stuff happening this week. But I mean, Silverstone has always brought really good racing. That last turn, I forgot what it's called. They have a name for that last turn, but they also called the start straight the Lewis Hamilton straight, so that's cool to see. But like I don't know. It has really good racing. It's got good chicanes, good straights, and it's got all the works with that. But what worries me is just with these tracks, since it has the straights and everything like that, it may have the potential to be boring this year. It may, but I also said that same thing about Canada, and Canada ended up being so
A
far
banger.
a banger of a race,
The
which you're
best race
absolutely right.
here.
So it's like
Best race.
it's kind of up in the air for me. I can say Silverstone could definitely fit in the A tier. I don't want to water down the A tier because there is a lot of A tier tracks, but like it is pretty up there. It's iconic. It's got like it's the British Grand. It's literally where everyone does their preseason testing. It's like it is a part of Formula One, like down to the bone. So it's
Yeah.
like I would love to put it in A tier, if not S, but that's the thing. See, like right there, do you agree with putting it in the very first of A tier?
Yeah. That's where I think it should go.
All right, bet. That's perfect then, because I actually don't mind it there. I it I mean I would maybe put it second under Canada, but at the same time, I think its history and just
Look,
racing that it's had, it's been better.
Canada only is getting so high because of its race this year.
You're
To
correct.
me, like, well, I mean, Canada's a good track, but like, it's so fresh on my mind also that it was like the best race this season. It's like hard to argue against it, but I think Silverstone's gonna be a banger. And I mean, dude, like even like last last year when they raced there, like Leclerc almost had a shot to win the race, like, and he was in a Ferrari, like,
You're
but
also correct. He was in an underwhelming Ferrari and he almost won the race.
yeah.
You're
So
right.
it's like, and I think that's why Monza. So I mean, McLaren they had a 1-2 at Monza. Really stick it to Ferrari,
Yeah, that's true.
like it's a track where like you don't. There's a little bit of unpredictability to it, like
That is
it's
true.
not
That is true.
unnecessarily.
Silverstone has those sections to where like how we saw last year. Actually, you know what? You take back everything I said. You're totally right about Silverstone being right there, even maybe at the end of S tier. But that's just a maybe though. I think it's solid where it's at. But just like last year, Cope's Corner with Hamilton and Verstappen getting in a wreck at freaking 200 miles an hour.
Big
Like,
yikes.
yeah, that is super unpredictable, and like we've even seen people give space on that turn before, and like yeah, no, it was super exciting. Like obviously, my heart freaking dropped when Max went into the wall because that was a hard hit.
That was
But
probably the like, dude. Max had some crazy impacts last year with that one and with Baku, dude.
yeah, Baku was pretty intense because dude, he's just going straight, and your freaking rear tire bursts out of nowhere. That has to send pee down your leg a little bit.
No
Like, bro,
kidding.
that is very intense.
Yeah, that was. Oh man, yeah. That dude's built different, man. I think we said this before already.
That
Built
Dutchman
Ford
is
tough.
built different.
He built Ford tough, baby.
Yeah, it is.
Um, yeah, I don't know. I think this is the tier list right
I
here.
think that's a solid tier list. I mean, we got, let's see, we have
For some
Spa,
reason,
Brazil, Japan, Coda, Monza, and S tier. What's
for
up,
so,
buddy?
for some reason, I just want to downgrade Imola.
Do it. Honestly, do it because at this point, with all the A tier ones, it's just up there in A. And yeah, I agree it being a strong B.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
we can we can confirm that Saudi Arabia and Miami are D tier though, eh?
Oh, dude, 100%.
If
Yeah,
there was an F tier, I'd put Miami in F by itself and put Saudi Arabia in D.
yeah, yeah. I think Saudi's definitely way better than Miami. But
I think
that
there's a
being
big
said, yeah,
generous gap in between Saudi Arabia and Miami.
if I could just do this, maybe. Yeah.
Dude. Yeah. Well, guys, that was our tier list, but that not only was that our tier list, we also have, which why we left it at the end, the Silverstone race predictions this week. And after having the off week last week, which honestly couldn't have been a better week to do it because I was so freaking busy, man. I was gone all weekend, this, that, and the other, but I am back with a vengeance. And I am so glad to be back with Chris. But yeah, we have the Silverstone GP this weekend, and I don't know, man. But let me just hear just a hot take right off the top of your head. Are we going to have an exciting or boring GP this weekend?
It's gonna be exciting, man. It's gonna be like I think George Russell is gonna go off this weekend.
You think Homeboy's going to pop off in his hometown race?
I think Lewis is gonna do really good also.
All right,
But I
screw it.
think
I'm saying Lando's going to do good too. All three British drivers.
Lando's gonna do good, but I mean he's gonna be doing good in McLaren standards, you know.
Yeah, that's true. He can only
I
do so
think the
much.
Mercedes boys can do good in like top three team standards. Like they might even. I'm gonna say it, dude. I think George Russell is gonna finish ahead of Carlos Sainz.
Hey, that's kind of a spicy take because Carlos is coming into form now. This is
He
the
is.
Carlos we should have been seeing from the start of the
Oh,
season.
I forgot how good he did last week.
Bro, like
Why
that's
did
what
I
I'm
say this?
saying.
Not.
He looked
Uh,
insane last week. He looked like he was very much racing for the win last week.
dude, if he had a different setup, man, what could
I
have
know.
been? What
I
could have been?
know. If he had a more attacking setup, he definitely could have had it.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, shout out to Carlos. But I still stand by it. I think George Russell might even get a podium this weekend. He might even be top 30.
I mean, you know me, man. The residential George Russell stand, like I had him at the top of my predictions. Mercedes ended up being, they built a kind of an car to start, and people got head starts, and they're playing catch up, and they're playing a good game of catch up because they're keeping them in the standings. But it's just unless Ferrari keeps slipping, the P2 is looking like the best of their scenario because I don't think Red Bull's giving up that grip at all.
Yeah, yeah. I think let's just say it. Obviously, Max is going to be first this weekend.
Let's just say it. Let's get it out of the way. He's
Yeah,
gonna be
Max
first. He's gonna
P1.
lap people.
Yeah, he's going to lap for sure.
Like, I mean,
Um,
the man has 6 wins and 7 podiums this year, dude.
but that being said, didn't we have some Red Bull car issues last weekend? Yeah, we did.
We
Or
did a
not
little
last weekend,
bit.
but last race. Yeah, we did have some. So Red Bull, they're getting back up on the little sketch factor, but they're not Ferrari bad right now.
No, I was about to say. I think the only time Christian Horner was right in this scenario is he'd rather have a championship, winning fast car and worry about reliability instead of this, that, and the other. Because right now, I mean, Ferrari's moniker was "We're reliable, we're reliable, we're gonna win the race, we're gonna see the end of the finish line." But now,
Not.
yeah, yeah, now they just hit a spinala and hit a 180 on that, and are going the opposite direction and not improving at all. And Charles Leclerc is having heartbreak after heartbreak after heartbreak of weekends, and
So
it's just so tough.
I think Leclerc has to do good this weekend because his car is so fresh right now. Like fourth power unit, like fourth turbo, all that stuff.
I mean, you have to be.
So I think we do 1-2, Max, Charles, and then I think Carlos is gonna get the Ferrari curse this weekend with some machinery issues because his car's
Oh,
not as fresh.
why you gotta do
Uh,
that to my boy?
I don't want to, man. I don't want to. It hurts to say. And then I think George Russell P3, dude. I'm gonna say it.
Wow. So I think you know what? I could go with that. I'm gonna go with because we saw. I mean, in the Canadian GP, we saw Charles get that grid penalty. He basically had a brand new rebuilt power unit. Everything's new.
Blew the
So
doors off of half the grid.
literally finished P5. Like it completely blew. Would have
And
finished
hey,
higher if he didn't get hung up.
yeah, if Ferrari didn't totally botch the pit stops, who knows? Maybe he could have been on the podium.
Yeah, no, he definitely could have. I have no issue that he definitely could have. With the way he was racing, I mean, even give him 2 more laps, he probably could have made podium. But
Yeah.
like it's just one of those things. I like Max and Charles 1-2. I think Charles is going to have an incredible Saturday like always, and then something. Charles might even get pole, and Max is going to win from second place.
Max will hawk him on the Lewis straight.
Yeah, no, 100, which would be so ironic. But like if Max passing
Hey,
up Charles on the Lewis
I
straight,
think I think they're gonna go wheel to wheel at Cops and they're not gonna crash and then everyone's gonna be like, look at that, they can go wheel to wheel.
he always gives them the space.
Yeah.
You must always leave the space, and I mean, if they do end up doing that, and I see that, that's gonna be the talk of the town on Twitter, 100%.
Yeah. Yeah. We're calling it first. They're going wheel to wheel. It's gonna be wild.
Yeah, no, I've got Lewis, and he'll finish top 5. He'll have a nice little race. It's
Top
impossible for
five, top
him not.
five.
It's impossible for him to not have a good race at his home circuit, especially after what recently happened. But we'll dive into that a slight bit because that is just incredible how that just happened out of nowhere. But like it's so sad. But no, I think George will be P3. I think you're right. I think Ferrari's something's going to happen with Carlos's car. But here,
DNF.
I do want to stress that this weekend will not be his fault. Whatever
Oh
happens to
yeah.
his car, it's not going to be his fault. So something's going to happen with Charles' car. I think it's going to be Max first, Leclerc second, George Russell third, Perez
Perez fourth.
fourth, and maybe Carlos like a fifth or sixth with like battling with Hamilton or
Lewis
something.
fifth. Lewis
Yeah,
fifth.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I think it's gonna be something like that. I think it's gonna be something like that for sure.
Yeah. I mean, that checks out to me. I I don't know. I could see Lewis maybe even getting the podium. We'll see.
I
I
mean,
think Lewis and George are gonna be I don't know. They both have equal opportunity to me. They're either gonna be third or fifth. Let's just put it that
the
way.
way the way that that car's driving now, I think. I mean, really, I think their last problem is the porpoising. It's really that. I think they're still the only team that's suffering like the worst from it. Ferrari has it, definitely, just not as bad. Red Bull has it, but they're mitigating it really well. Mercedes, it's their only problem now, I think.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I don't know. I think that makes sense. What's it called? Shout out to F1 Data Analysis. He tweeted, it's weird to think this. The Mercedes has their worst car in like, I don't know, the last decade, and they're number three. Ferrari has their best car in the last like, I don't know, maybe 2 decades or at least 1 decade, probably not two, but in the last decade, and they're barely hanging on to second place, dude.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, and I'm talking barely. Like at this point, it's barely because they can't keep having weekends where one driver does he beats every expectation, but then one driver DNFs because of some dumb thing that your team decided to do. We can't keep having these weekends because the only reason Mercedes is still in this right now is because they've been consistently finishing races top 5, shout out George Russell, and
Top
just
five, top five.
stay top 5, top 5, top 5, and just staying in the race. Ferrari, it's so volatile that it's either we're winning the race with the best case scenarios or we're just not even competing.
Yeah, yeah.
Like that's
No,
really it, and it kind of sucks to see.
it does suck to see. It's pretty tragic. Um, but yeah, I think that makes sense for a top five. I think Haas, they're not going to do anything. They're stagnant. I tweeted it. I think Ferrari is the perfect engine for Haas because they start out great and then they just say, I mean, that's the best we got.
Yeah, what do we say
Whatever.
about Haas? They'll find a way to screw it up.
Grosjean was just ripping on a new one. I think it was fair criticism, honestly.
I mean, yeah. Think about his position. You invite K Mag back. You got the team. You have the team you basically wanted. Minus like, I mean, to be honest, my dream team at Haas would have been Vettel and Schumacher, but it's the team that you wanted by design. You have a veteran matched up with the rookie instead of two rookies, and you secretly hate one. Like it's just like you have the team now. What's the excuse? There doesn't need to be an excuse. So it's like, dude, just like last week, everybody's like, "Oh, Haas is they qualified the highest they have, as a team. They're this, the other." I wasn't surprised at all. I literally said they'll find a way to screw it up, and that's about it.
Yeah, yeah. It sucks, man.
Like it
I
sucks to
like
say it
Haas.
aloud, but like, man, I want to love Haas too. Being from America, that's our team. But now, I
Yeah,
mean, damn, man, like.
yeah. Well, I don't know. I think that spells out our predictions. I don't know. I think anything else you want to close on, Tyler?
I mean, no, man. We're gonna be at you here. We're gonna have this episode go live probably either later tomorrow or, you know what? No, I think I'm gonna
Tomorrow
put
is a
this live.
Wednesday,
Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna put this live Thursday morning, bright and early at 10 a.m. We'll have a
Central
night
Time.
Central Time. Yeah, my time, Central Time. Sorry about that. It'll be 8 a.m. for Chris's time. But yeah,
West Coast time.
we'll hit you in the morning with episode 21, and then we'll have episode 22 come out Monday for the post race for about Silverstone. See what freaking wacky things have happened. If Ferrari
Wheel
can,
to wheel.
yeah, if freaking Ferrari can see the finish line for both of their cars, and yeah, man, I love doing this tier list, and I look
It
forward to
was
getting back on
fun.
the grind with you, brother.
We got to do some more stuff like this. I thought it was fun. Let us know what y'all thought.
Oh, dude, we got to do
If you
car
like it or
liveries
not.
next.
Oh yeah, we should have done it at the start of the year. But yeah,
I
we
agree.
could always redeem ourselves.
No, hell yeah, man. But this has been the Lockup Podcast. Catch us on Twitter at TLUPF1. Catch us on YouTube. It'll be in the descriptions. Listen to Anchor.fm, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Deezer, Stitcher, Google Play, everywhere you can get a podcast. But we're signing off. Later, nerds.
Later.